All right, Southern Swing 2025 kicks off. This is our first stop. We're just outside of Richmond, Virginia at Lloyd Seabird High School. Uh, Chris Whitehead, five-star defensive end, 2027 class, one of the biggest names in the 2027 class. First of all, Chris, how you doing this morning? How's your spring going?
Doing pretty good, man. Spring it's been okay. Doing workouts, putting new install for defense and offense, and trying to get our team back to where it was to get a state championship.
Yeah. You had a bit of a busy spring with recruiting. Obviously, you've got a lot of offers. We won't go through everyone, but you made kind of a Midwest trip: Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame. Let's start obviously with Ohio State since that's who we're here covering. But what did you, I guess, learn about Ohio State on that visit, and what were your thoughts, and how did things maybe match up based on your expectations going in?
When I went to Ohio State, so we first got there, we had drove all the way to Ohio State. I got there, I had talked to Coach Johnson. Me talking to Coach Johnson, man, he's very soft spoken, but his words hit you real deep. And not only he cares about you playing football, it could be like after football and how you are as a person. So just knowing him and knowing that he's going to be could potentially be my defensive coordinator, I think Ohio State definitely top of my list. And plus, the practice was very good. The quarterback was live. That was part of it. I've never seen no college do that. The quarterback was live, and it was very intense. Some people was fighting. Everybody was competing.
Yeah. What, I guess, you mentioned kind of what stood out to you about the practice there. Was there anything, did you get a chance to see campus, or kind of, I guess, how much time did you get to spend? Because I know some of these visits, you go on 3 or 4 schools. It's hard to get a feel for everything. Did you get a look at campus? Did you get a chance maybe to talk to Coach Day or any of the other staff? And kind of how was the rest of the trip?
I think we did view the campus. Yeah, we did do that. Then I had talked to Coach Day. He had met my dad, talked to my brother and stuff. And then that's when he offered me a spot. And when he offered me, it was just it was unbelievable because I'm in the head coach room office. And it was just, he had everything set up, the trophies, the bowl games, all that stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, how closely did you follow them this past year as far as their run to the championship? I think people kind of wrote them off a little bit when they lost to Michigan and kind of left them for dead a little bit. And
sure.
They went on that run. How closely did you follow that, and just kind of what were your impressions maybe watching that unfold?
I feel like after that Michigan game, that was the turn point game for sure. Because after that game, they went and beat everybody. They beat Texas. That Oregon game, that's very shocking to me because everybody thought Oregon was going to sweep them. Well, Ohio State came out the back. They came in, foot on the pedal, and they did their thing.
Coach Johnson obviously has a very good reputation of sending players to the NFL. They just had their entire front four drafted to the NFL. I mean, how closely have you followed that? Is there anyone you've watched over the years from Ohio State, or anything you followed with Coach Johnson's career?
I've watched Chase Young, and Nick Bosa.
Chase is a big. I mean, you're a little bit south of the DMV, but I mean, Chase is a big name in this area. When you see that kind of legacy or whatever, how important is that as you evaluate schools in terms of just their tradition of putting guys in the NFL?
I feel like what I want my position coach. So if I meet my coach going to Ohio State like Coach Johnson, I want him to still be there while I go to Ohio State because that's very important to me because I'm building a relationship with him now. And when I get there, I just don't want him to go. And I got to build a whole new relationship with a whole new coach.
So that's going to be important to you.
Yes, sir.
Kind of watching what Coach Johnson does. As far as just your general interest in Ohio State, is that something that you've had previously to your visit? I'm just kind of curious, you speak kind of highly of them right now, and I'm just curious, is that something that started at a younger age, or was that more just getting there and visiting and being really impressed?
Well, when I was younger, my dad liked Miami. So we really just talk about Miami and stuff. So going to Ohio State, I know they had a high standard, but me watching them in person and see how it's more of a business thing, it really put them on top of my list for sure.
Gotcha. So the visit kind of opened your eyes.
Yes, sir.
To what they're about. Okay. You went to Michigan, and go ahead.
And me talking to Coach Johnson.
Yeah. That was a big thing. So you went to Michigan and Notre Dame. Quickly ask you about Michigan. What did you think there? Impressions on what you saw there? Did you go to practice there?
So honestly, it's a funny thing because Michigan wasn't originally planned. So I had my Coach Blank. Coach Blank had texted the coach that day. We had, and Michigan was just 2 hours from Ohio State, so we went to Michigan, and we sat in the room. I got to watch how the defense scheme was and how could it like fit me towards them. So it wasn't really planned, so I didn't get to watch or practice anything. But I got to tour the facility. I got to tour around campus, and it's like a big rectangle. So it's like right there. Everything's right there.
Notre Dame. Coach Freeman played at Ohio State. They obviously played in the national championship game. What were your thoughts there, and just anything that jumped out about Notre Dame for you?
On Notre Dame, it was almost like the same as Ohio State. It had the same like impact on me, and knowing that Coach Freeman was from Ohio State, he's kind of bringing that over to Notre Dame, and he's making their players like this and take accountability for what they do. So Notre Dame, like again, is definitely one on my top list.
Is it strange for you to go from like Ohio State to Michigan to Notre Dame, knowing they're like all three, like obviously Ohio State and Michigan are huge rivals, but like Notre Dame and Michigan have a rivalry, and Ohio State and Notre Dame have kind of a rivalry. Is it strange to you to like go from one place to the other and try and like weigh them against each other when you know like they're all kind of big rivals?
Yeah, it's kind of weird how they just all just like close like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't planned for me to go to Michigan, but it was like a real great feeling being able to go to all three of those colleges.
Where else have you been? Have you been anywhere else this spring? And have you noticed anyone's recruiting you particularly hard at this point?
I went to Maryland just recently on the 19th. It was me, my little brother, and my little brother. They offered my 11-year-old brother.
So you got there's another one coming.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to talk to your 1 year younger brother here in a minute. So you got another one coming down the road after that.
Yes, sir. So it was pretty good. I talked to Coach Locks. Got a little. He was talking to my mom. My mom would ask some questions about what they do there. How can it help me as a person? How can they develop me to be the best me? So it was good too down there.
And like, what? Obviously, you're a defensive end. You're a pass rusher. Like, what do you think has made you intriguing? I guess to college coaches. I mean, we've got we could go down the offer list. It would take us a while. You got a bunch of offers and interest. What do you think you've put on tape so far that's making these coaches pull the trigger so early?
I feel like it's more of my speed and my ability to keep my foot on the pedal. Because during that season, I had actually a great season. I had 13 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 for a pick six, and 48 tackles. So just knowing me going up, because my 9th grade year, I only had 11 sacks. So I want to keep going up every single year. And knowing that I have a chip on my shoulder now, and I got to prove something every single time, that makes it better for me to keep going to motivate myself to be the best person.
So what's the goal for this year for sacks?
I want to get 15 this year. I got to get 15.
As far as just, you have a younger brother here, Isaiah, who's an offensive lineman. So we were kind of joking before, do you guys do one-on-ones in the backyard? Because that feels like a perfect setup for both of you, is that he plays offensive line, you play defensive line. So how competitive does that get, either in practices or even at home?
Well, we kind of don't really do it at home, but at practice, it gets very intense. He hasn't beat me yet, so
we're gonna ask him about that. We're gonna get that verified.
He keeps claiming he knows my moves and it's easy to go against me, but I'm a whole new different person now. I done put on weight. I was 180 pounds my freshman season. I'm 225 right now.
That's quite the development.
Yes, sir.
He's pushing 3 bills though, right?
Yeah, he's 6'4", 330.
Whoa.
And my little brother, he's 5'7". He's 11 years old. 5'7",
Already.
250.
Oh my goodness, he can be another probably O-line.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. So you're gonna have a whole little O-line, D-line group there. What's next for you this summer? Are you gonna go to some camps or some workouts or things like that at colleges? Are there any schools you want to visit? I know you may not have it scheduled yet, but just some schools you're gonna try and get out to.
So June 1st, I'm going to Tennessee. So I'm going to that. Then I want to go to go up there, Oregon, too, and I want to go for the Ohio State game opener versus Texas. That's going to be a good game. I definitely want to go see that.
Yeah. I guess when you get the opportunity to go to these types of games, you're going to have the opportunity to go to almost every game, any game you want in college football that will go with your schedule. What do you just take in the atmosphere? Do you watch certain things as a recruit, like during the game? Does the result matter? Like, talk us through what you guys are actually watching when you go to like these big time college football games, and how much or how little it impacts your actual recruiting process.
I feel like, well, me and my dad, we watch how they can stay on the players and develop them as a person. That's really what I care about in my life outside of football. Like, what can you do for me that's gonna help me when I'm done with football? Because football not gonna last forever. You know what I'm saying? What am I gonna do when I'm done with football? How can you help me with my education to go get my degree and go get a business and do something productive with my life?
Is there something you want to get into after football, or do you have any interest outside of football at this point?
I want to do real estate. I do want to do that, and I do want to probably do business management.
Okay, so you're
and I want to be a football agent.
Gotcha. That's a nice combination.
Mm-hmm.
Get your business degree, do a little real estate on the side. That's a good plan. We appreciate you doing this.
Sir.
Good luck here on your upcoming visits this summer. Good luck as you navigate the recruiting process. Seems like you got a really good head on your shoulders, so continue to kind of keep your head down and grind, and we'll be back to see you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep.